All right, folks. It is 10 o'clock p.m. Y'all know what time is it? It is the midnight run. And once again, it's me. It's that VINCE. I hope everybody's doing all right. I think Vegan Gains is doing his own stream as usual. I'm having a smaller cigar tonight because I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. in the morning to watch the coronation uh, of King Charles. And then I'm got to prepare for the debate Sunday with Vegan Gays. So I'm going to be pretty busy tomorrow here. One second here. Oh yeah, one other thing. The stream may be a little bit choppy tonight. I have no clue what's going on. Pretty much everything is powered off, so yeah, I'm getting up at 5 a.m. in the morning to watch King Charles. Let's see here. You have your scouter on. I'm doing all right there. My power level should be at zero like Goku when he fought the Ginyu Force. I always keep my power level at zero until necessary. Yeah, I saw that video, Antonio. He had to have his wife take off the plates. Kind of embarrassing. Yeah, I looked up this Ask Yourself kid there. My whole thing is this here. So he wasn't filming at the very beginning. He was filming later, and it was Buddy Riley. How am I supposed to know what that stupid kid looks like there? And he decides to think that I should get down on my knees and say I was wrong. I mean, he calls it an ego test, but I think it was trying to feed his ego. That's not going to work on the great one there, you know. But I had to shove him to the side because he was a nobody anyway. So, but that was very interesting. That's the first time Richard needed to ask for assistance and tried to triple team me there. But oh well. Vegan Gaze has promised that she doesn't do stuff like that. She's going to be a lot harder to debate because me and her know each other pretty well. So she's going to be a lot harder to debate than Vegan Gains here. Probably 2 or 3 times as hard. That's why I'm going to need to get prepared tomorrow. Yeah, I like seeing the pomp and circumstance, Darren. I may even do a live stream too. That's when my bandwidth is best. So. Well, Darren, it's going to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to watch a coronation of a king there. It's probably not going to happen again for maybe another 20 or 30 years. So you have to take the opportunity to see things that are rarely going to happen there, you know, in your lifetime. Can you just admit you're wrong? I just need to gauge for capable of ego. You know, I saw some of his videos, and he does this type of stuff. He's one of those pretentious liberal type people there that thinks the world owes him an apology. I honestly, I think Richard and him can be kinfolk or so. I always celebrate Cinco de Mayo. So, folks, let me tell you what I got tonight here. I got the Alex Brady Cabadoros cigar. I also have, now this may look clear, but it's not water, folks. This is a gin and tonic, and this is made with Purity Gin. 114 proof gin, okay? Naval strength. Do you know why they have, do you know where the term naval strength gin comes from? Let me explain what naval strength gin comes from. You see, in the Navy, when they were storing alcohol, it had to be at a high level to where it wouldn't mess up the gunpowder in the ships or anything like that. So they had to have a high alcohol content in order for the gunpowder to continue burning, because sometimes it could leach onto it or so forth. That's why they call it naval strength, folks. And then of course I always got my coffee there. The vegan gays debate is going to be very interesting. It's gonna be pretty hard to debate her, so we'll see how that goes here. But I'll need to study for her. Richard, no. Her, yes. You know. Because one thing I can always expect that she'll actually have an answer for everything that I actually have. You know, she studied every single last one of my debates, as well as all of my videos on veganism. Every single one of them there, you know. So that's why I got to be really careful of her. I'm kind of a little nervous there for one, but I should be fine, you know. Now, the great one ain't scared or anything like that, but, you know, you have to be mindful of your opponent these days, you know. So, oh, boy. So, what are you folks drinking and smoking tonight? Tell me in the comments below. James, Richard is not going to cash out. I mean, this is only source of income. It's his only source of income, and it's getting worse. A whole lot worse. I wasn't going to admit wrong to that stupid kid, and there was nothing to be admitting wrong to there to begin with. You know, and honestly, I blame that on Richard, because he could have actually cleared things up instead of being evasive on who was ambushing who. Sweet tea, weed, and cigarettes. All right. Diesel pump. All right. Got a diesel cigar. That's what I'm talking about, Lamar. Getting the weekend started out right. By the way, how can I tell if a man and a woman are a couple or brother or sister? Well, just simply ask them, you know, if they're brother and sister. I mean, or ask their names there, you know, and stuff. I don't, just ask them directly. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't ask them. Are you brother and sister, married or something, you know? I don't think it's going to be kind of offensive here. You mix keef with your weed? Why? I always like the straight stuff there. Why in the world would you want to put that stuff in there? Just keep it real like we did it in the 90s. So, legs are getting strong? Okay. Just keep training there. That's for sure. But yeah, the other things that's been going on really, I got a video coming out on that Dusty tomorrow on Tofano's tattoo. I'm actually going to review the entire thing. But I mean, the tattoo looks kind of stupid, actually. If you ask my opinion of it. Hey, Andrew, how you been there? Oh yeah, I've also been busy selling my website, as well as updating logos and refreshing some of my websites. I also bought the domain cybergamesonline.com. It was a site that was that was open back in '98 or so forth. It was a gambling and sportsbook site for 22 years, so I went and bought the rights out to that. So I got to work on that tomorrow. Yeah, Joel, they jumped in. I mean, surprisingly enough, but it didn't do them any good. All they did was try to cover up the fact that they ambushed Dr. Greger, which is what the real debate was about. I could care less about sugar substitutes or anything. Ah, the old beef testicles trick there, Justin. Beef testicles, if you eat beef testicles, they're not going to do anything for you. It's just hyperbole, you know. It comes from, it's one of those old ancient Greece, Roman type things here, but, you know, the only thing it's going to have is just regular amino acids and stuff. It's not going to give you any extra testosterone. Good question. A lot of people try to sell that stuff, their ovaries and stuff, in order to make money. It's cheap to get too there, and they make them in the supplements. Yeah, I wish all the best for Ethel there, Darren. You know, pets are pets here, that's for sure. He's not Elvis. Well, Andrew, how's he gonna get off YouTube? He has no money coming in except from his wife Jasmine. And even he spent all that time editing that video and stuff. It's got so many curse words on it there. He's not going to get any money for it. I mean, it was literally a waste to go and edit that video. It's going to have a yellow limited sign on it there. So, I mean, what? He's going to get maybe 20 cents off of it. It's ridiculous. I don't know why. Most of my live streams, folks, are limited there, you know. So I don't even bother spending the time editing it because it doesn't do any good there, you know. I don't even know why he would take all that time to do it there. That's a sign of that's another thing that's kind of weird that he would actually just spend all that time editing a video that he's not going to make a dime off of. Beyond Burger patties, they have way too many chemicals in them. I mean, I had some Beyond Burger patties simply because I got a good deal on them, and I try to cut down on my red meat there, so it's a good alternative. I just think they need to lower the amount of chemicals that they have in the Beyond Burgers. They really do. What you need help with, RC? Well, let me light my cigar first, folks. It's up to a point there. Plus, they got a lot of sodium in them as well. So, I don't like things with a lot of chemicals. That's why I smoke cigars. There's only one ingredient in the cigar, and that's tobacco. There's none of those chemicals that you find in cigarettes. Still not healthy for you, but, you know, that's just me. That's good to hear, Andrew. The gym always gives me a good way of relaxing and stuff. Uh, that's where I'm going to go to after I watch the coronation. I'm also having groceries delivered as well, my usual Walmart delivery. RC, it's going to be hard for me to troll Richard because I've been banned off his live streams and for probably about 5 or 6 years. I mean, I've been permanently banned. It's been at least 6 years since I've been banned. I wouldn't date the NDO. Father is here, AJ Masters. Is that really you, man? Nope, that ain't you. That's not you. Liar. Ah, economics. That was one of my favorite classes. Going to learn a lot from that particular class. Make sure you pay attention. Do most young ladies in the U.S. lose their virginity early on or wait until marriage? I would say they lose their virginity early on. I don't keep up with statistics, but the causure of women aren't the same as it used to be in the 50s. Well, that was in the good old days here, KCB. That's when things were still pretty nasty and you can get away with saying stuff. I was thinking that you can say, "Hey, Richard, you've had these guys helping you on the last debate, so I'm going to have my friend." Well, it'll be a while before I debate Richard again. I don't think he wants any more of this here, so. But we'll see about that there. But that was kind of interesting. He's never had to call for backup before, ever. If we do debate again, he'll have to make a notice not to bring anyone else into the debate whatsoever. It should always be a one-on-one match, fair game. Don't be like those people in Chicago and New York. If you guys know what I mean, right? Those people always like to jump other people. They don't believe in fair fighting. As long as you pass, Lamar, that's what matters. You lost your cherry at 16? Well, you were of age there, so, well, people lose it at their different ages there, that's for sure. Yeah, Richard's changed. He's changed a bunch. He's really changed. RC, I don't go on any of Richard's live streams or anything like that, but keep up the work and trolling him there. But you ought to also come up with your own original content if you. Nothing pisses him off more than original content. Because think about it for a minute. When you're up there yelling Durian Rider, you're actually paying him. You know what I'm saying, RC? You are paying Richard to troll him. I'm not going to pay him. I want you to think about that for a minute. When you go out there and you try to troll him, you are paying him $2, $3 here. Do some original content. Don't do something that benefits Richard. You know what I mean? I mean, I was a C student in high school, but that was only because I had to work at Taco Bell. You know, just remember a school can grade you, but remember you're at the end of the day you have to grade yourself. There was a guy in my school that was made straight A's, ended up homeless, at my school. I kid you not, folks. Like I said, people. I mean, and the thing about it is that for people that are super popular in high school, it's very harder for them out in real life because once they get out in real life in a regular job, they realize that they're not hot shit anymore. And so that way they get depressed there. The days of being super popular are over with. You now have to go work for someone. You got to be someone's bitch. Truth, that's fat. Hands down, it's just fat. Is it true that women are more gifted in tightness than others? Well, of course, different strokes, I mean, different genetics. We'll do all sorts of different things here. Well, RC, you're still watching his channel, which means commercials are still coming up there. So you're basically paying him in ad revenue from Google. You know, you're still giving them money regardless as to whether you're donating or not. I would say create your own original content and don't worry about Richard's live streams. I mean, at this point, they're the most boring things out there. Yeah, exactly, Truth One. You know, just because someone goes to prison there, doesn't mean that they can't make it. There was a guy that racked up a whole bunch of speeding tickets back in the 70s. I think his name was Bill Gates. They told Jeff Bezos he was a failure. He went to Harvard Business School to do a demonstration. They completely laughed at him and said that his business plan was a complete joke. Can you imagine that in the 90s they telling Jeff Bezos that? They also laughed at Zuckerberg too. They said that his ideas was stupid. People on Get Big said that my ideas are stupid as well, that I'm wasting my time doing live streams and videos and building websites and stuff. Remember, at the end of the day, it's important to be your own cheerleader and to follow your own path. Don't be weak minded and try to follow the crowd. When you follow the crowd, that means you're inundated in that means your head is in the matrix. Hmm. Well, James, most of that has to deal with depression. He's getting a lot of calories because he's depressed there. So people that are depressed have a tendency to eat a lot more food, you know. And Jasmine used to be super lean too. Both of them have just plumped up there like pumpkins. I mean, he's lifting heavy at least, but that's not the point there. But one thing Richard needs to understand, he's in his 30s now. So that's another thing that's factoring in. He used to make fun of me many years ago that he's going to always be doing the same thing that he's doing. Now he's realizing that he's slowing down. And it's going to get a lot worse for him because he's literally torn through his joints, you know. I didn't watch the game last night there, Tater Tot. Well, RC, just remember there that it's better, like I said, if you want to spice things up, make your original content. You don't even have to put your face up there. You can do no face content to make fun of Richard. That's if you really wanted to troll him. That's what pisses him off the most is original content. Trust me on that. As long as you're still messing around in his live stream, you're actually still paying him money. The only money that I ever paid Richard was I gave him a $50 donation like 6 years ago, challenging him to a debate. And I gave him $50 on purpose so I can challenge him to a debate. Now, if you think that's a lot of money, I mean, don't forget I was still working at Verizon at the time, so that was still chump change. Yeah, truth one, that barber must have been expensive too. Jasmine played as many video games as Richard did. Neither one of them have a healthy lifestyle. I mean, just like these cigars, folks, cigars are awesome, but you don't want to chain smoke them back to back. There's a such thing as too much of a good thing. And this is definitely not something I do every day. Most of my cigars are little tiny little sticks here, you know. Some days I don't even smoke anything at all. I wouldn't waste your money on SARMs and peptides. But you're not going to get arrested or anything. Don't worry about it. Those people go after the big dogs. They're not going to go after you unless you're selling them. If you're not selling them, you're perfectly fine. I wonder what it's like to have intercourse with a female bodybuilder. Well, find a. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. Let's just put it this way: there are alternatives. But you have to remember a female bodybuilder is taking testosterone, is a woman that takes testosterone. That is the same as that's practically the same as a woman that's transitioning over to a man. So, like I said, Zach, you have alternatives. It's up to you whether you wish to explore that or not. You know, just keeping it real and telling it to you like it is. But I would consider it almost the same, given the fact that everyone's taking juice. It would be sort of like transitioning over. The only difference is the mindset. How you doing there today, Greg? Greg, I have no clue as far as to why they said that. I was gonna answer, but I just thought I'd let it roll there. You know, just for the mints. Yeah, 285 isn't that much there. I think he had more weight on there than 285. I think he had like 335 on that bench whenever he failed. That's still a good bench, but he's gonna regret doing these lifts in the future. Mantis, you can order kilos of SARMs and peptides. They're not going to come after you whatsoever. Trust me. The only time they're going to come after you is if you're selling it, you know? And you have to be selling a significant portion of it there, you know? They're not going to waste their time with you. So order as much as you want if you want to order it. I no longer use Twitter there, Andrew. I did have a Twitter account. I may start it back up or so forth. Now I'm working more. I'm more focused on doing Instagram instead. Well, Zach, everybody is on something. Everybody wants to always enhance their physique by doing something, whether it's protein smoothies, you know, you got makeup, you know, and stuff. That's just our obsession with ourselves as far as personal beauty. It's, you know. So yeah, men and women are on something. Even I am. I want you to think about it for a minute there. When you get up in the morning there, it's not necessary for you to wash your face, but you wash your face. Why do you wash your face? Because you want your face to look good towards others. You don't want it to be dirty, you know. That's why the cosmetics industry is a $1 trillion industry. I met this girl at my university. She seems super down to hand, but the semester's over in 2 weeks and I won't see her in 3 months. That doesn't mean you don't talk to her, you know. Still talk to her. It doesn't matter if it was the very last day. You know, you just never know these days, you know. Talk to her. Get her number or her Facebook account or so forth, or whatever you kids do these days. And just communicate because, 3 months isn't forever. What's 3 months in the lifetime of a man? Yes, I have an Instagram, the real Vince Goodrum. Uh, but yeah, I'm gonna start doing more with Instagram. Ah, no problem, Mantis. That's what that's what these live streams are about, is answering questions. So yeah, I'm gonna do a video on that tomorrow, Strange Clouds. We're gonna do a react. I'm gonna do more reaction videos, by the way. Sex is physical contact there, RC. If you're looking for a woman just for sexual relations, then you're going about it all wrong. If you have no general interest in her, you should not pursue her. Don't go and just stick your ding dong into everything. So if you have genuine interest in her for personality wise, then I would suggest pursuing it. If it's for sexual reasons there, then you need to rethink your perspective on the treatment of women. Just saying. I mean, I'll call a bitch and a whore. But, I'm not going to play games with anyone I'm trying to pursue. You know what I'm saying? For protein shake, would it be the best cut or type of turkey breast deli meat? Well, you have to look at the back of the label and see, most of them are going to be 98% fat free, but just watch out for things like water and fillers and stuff like that. If it has minimal of that, then you should be good. You can always collab with me there. Like I said, people hit me up on my Instagram and stuff, so, I'll do more. Yeah, I'm going to do a reaction video tomorrow on Frank Tufano, but I'm going to be pretty busy. Like I said, I just acquired cybergamesonline.com, so I got to get started on that. I'm going to probably work on that while I'm watching the coronation take place. Well, I told you folks it was going to be a little choppy tonight. Hopefully when I get the router in and start running. Once that happens, you'll notice a significant improvement. I mean, I love turkey. Turkey is one of those things that I had on my diet food, and it's pretty easy to. It's a good substance there because you can just whip off how many slices based on the packet to get the amount of protein. So it's what I call one of those adjustable protein parts here. Folks, hang loose with me. I already gave a warning in advance that the stream's going to be a little choppy tonight. Quick pump. I have to be for real on this. If the cat is not eating, there's not going to be really much you can do for the cat. Unfortunately, it's going to come to a point, I believe, to where the cat will need to be put to sleep there, I'm afraid. I mean, I've had my cat, Zachary Binks, that was the name of the cat. My ex-husband called me that he started coughing real bad and was pretty sick, and he decided to put him to sleep as well. I mean, that's just the general nature of animals here. I don't think there's anything that can really be done for Ethel, I'm afraid. I mean, I'm just being realistic based on the fact that we had like 5 or 6 cats here. When we were married, we had a lot of animals, folks. We had like 5 and 6 cats at one time, and a dog. He was the big animal lover, but that's the thing about relationships, folks. I'm not much on animals or anything like that. I have no pets at home. But when you're in a relationship, you have to compromise on things. If I had said that I didn't want any animals, then it wouldn't have afforded a healthy relationship. You know what I mean? So you have to always keep that in mind. Feel free to do so through my Instagram there, Lamar. I can't really see the frog there, RC. Hold on a minute. Okay, I see it now. The side. I probably quoted it wrong. Adjustable protein meaning that you can measure it out as far as to what your daily requirement is going to be. That is true. His name was Zach Binks there because the cat actually talked. I mean, I kid you not, it actually talked whenever you heard him. It would say hello, actually. I mean, literally, a cat talked a bunch here. It was so cute. I like that cat. I know, Joel. I said it was going to be choppy tonight. Folks, when it comes to streaming, for me, it's never going to be perfect. You want to know why? Because I don't have cable or fiber internet. I just have I have cellular internet. That's the reason why I don't do any of the live reaction videos because that kills the bandwidth and it shuts things down. What's up, Corey? Do I miss... I like Gary Coleman. I like the shows. It's a shame. A lot of people stole money from him there. His parents. Can you imagine working and completely losing your childhood only to find out that your parents have stolen and spent up all your money? If she takes fiber and increases the frequency, she's going to clog it up even more. But quick pump, I would recommend checking your toilet as well. If you got one of those low flush toilets here, that's one thing. But, a clogged toilet is an indication that there may be an issue with the toilet itself. So I would actually check it out. You may have low pressure in your water pipes, possibly. Truth one, it all depends. What am I drinking? I'm drinking a gin and tonic made with Purity Gin. 114 proof. Or excuse me, 115 proof. Yeah, it was an ambush, but, I guess that's the way he's working now. I mean, we can say all the nice things we want about Jerry Springer, but here's the thing. As funny as his shows was, the fact of the matter is it promoted the worst out of people. It made us Southerners look bad. It made black people look bad. It made gays and lesbians look bad. You know, Jerry Springer profited on the humiliation of others for many years. You know, that's Jerry Springer's legacy, unfortunately. And it's kind of funny. He promotes the humiliation of them, and then he says at the end of every show, take care of each other and take care of yourselves and each other. I mean, it's a complete oxymoron. It's a affront to everything that he actually did. Shows was entertaining, but I think ultimately when you really look at the shows, I'm like, geez, I'm actually responsible for his content because, just like everybody else, because we fed into it. We watched the shows. So we're all guilty. Yeah, Andrew, that that's the '90s here. Yeah, you probably have a water issue there, quick pump there. I've never had a clogged toilet in this home. They wanted to put some low water toilets whenever I first got this home. I said no, put some good regular toilets in here. I don't want that cheap eco flush. I want something that'll flush. I want something that's so strong that I could flush my exercise bike down the toilet. At least he died with a little bit of dignity. He didn't go and let on that he had cancer and stuff. If I'm super sick there, I would like to keep that very private with family and friends. I'm never going to broadcast me dying or anything like that. So if ever I go away, folks, and say I'm ending things, you know what'll be going on there. The reason being is because I want to spend my last times with friends and family and trying to get everything done as much as possible. Because that's one of the biggest regrets people have you know, uh, people wish they can turn back time and say, hey, I wish I did this, I wish I did that. You know, don't wait on, if you're going to do something in life, don't wait on it. Because by that time, you're too late. You got these people that have decided to compete at the age of 70 and 80, and people think they're impressed. What happens if they had started competing at 20 and 30? Where would they be? Andrew, I don't plan to leave anytime soon there. But you have to remember, Andrew, you don't get a choice as far as to when you die. When you go, you go. I mean, seriously. Yes, I have a will in place. No, you're not in a will. Interesting enough, Vegan Gains is actually in the will. He's actually in my will. But it's a generality with all of my any cousins of mine. I intend to leave things to certain people there. But yeah, even there's even a note for him in there. So, like I said, family is family. No, I won't be spending my last moments here. Now, I want you to be clear. Just because there's something in my will doesn't mean it's going to be anything good or bad, good or anything. So, I'll just leave it at that. Oh wow, Zach. Some of the best restaurants are out in the middle of nowhere, you know. I went to this I was traveling, I found this hole in the wall Mexican restaurant. They gave me some of their homemade tequila and man, I was knocked out. Would I ever consider myself to be in a position of the old wise guy? The answer is no. Because then there's an expectation that I know everything. I don't know everything. I'm still learning, you know. And I'll still continue learning until the day I die, you know. What I want to be is the old helping guy, you know. I want to be that person that helps someone to wherever they're going to. Like one person hit me up last week. They were wanting me to cash app them. They said that they were having trouble paying for food. I took them down to the food pantry, and they got a whole bunch of food. You know, folks, there's no reason for anyone in this country to starve. You know, go to the food pantry and don't be embarrassed about what your friends say. If you think they're going to be embarrassed, take their asses with them there. They're probably just as broke as you are. You know, and go get your food. People starve and people are broke in this country because they're too arrogant, you know. They think they're too good to ask for help. They think they're too good to go to a Goodwill, you know. They wouldn't be caught dead in a Goodwill. That's arrogance, you know. That's not real thinking. Would I let Jay Masters drop a deuce in the toilet? Well, of course, if I invited him over or so. No data. What the heck? It just cut off just a minute ago. Weird. No, the tequila didn't have the worm. You have to remember, folks, that it's just a toilet, you know. Jay Masters, if I had invited him over and he needed to use the restroom, then yeah, I don't see any reason. If he messes it up, he's going to have to clean it there. But remember, anything that's dirty can always be cleaned up there. It's a little to do about nothing. Quick Pump, I've not heard that. I've not heard that song in maybe like 20 or 30 years, literally. I think it's been that long. If that's what you're talking about, milliliters. Uh, it's been at least 30 years. But yeah, I've not heard that in a while. That's a very old song. Well, that's their business there. You have to think about it for a minute there. If they don't go and get the food, usually the food spoils and is gone there, you know. It's not our job to question whether someone has food in their kitchen or not. Some people may be broke, and then some people, you never know. Even the richest people may not have food there. Perhaps they have a lot of credit cards here and stuff, you know. You do have what's called broke millionaires, you know. But a food pantry should doesn't distinguish between someone's wealth or anything or not there, you know. So, and you have to remember, we don't know what's going on with them. They may be picking up food for a friend or so forth that's too embarrassed there. It's not our job to concern ourselves as far as to who is viable for going to a food pantry, you know. They present the food to anyone that wishes to have it there. They don't go and run a background check or anything. So, that's kind of a nil situation, you know. regardless as to whether you're just doing it to save money or whether you really need it, that's just your business here. The coronation starts at 5, and Prince Charles, it should end by around 10 o'clock a.m. Well, I can't speak much for petite women. I've carried them around. I could speak about twinks there. Yeah, they enjoy being carried around. But don't do it if they don't ask, or if you have a bad back. Sir Vince, do you need an active ID to get food at a... No, you just go. You don't need an ID. Anyone can go to a food pantry. You don't got to show an ID. You don't have to sign a form or anything. Do you think homeless people have IDs usually on them? No. Some of them can't even write. What's my type? I like guys with a good personality, people that I can actually have a conversation with. You know? Someone that's not all up in themselves. Someone that actually has some human skills or abilities. What that means is that they're not a worthless ding dong or anything. Can I come eat of your food? I don't go to the food pantry, Andrew. But you're welcome to come over and have a meal. I don't have a real description of body there, RC. It's not that important to me. But one thing, I don't want them in a position where they're nothing but skin and bones or morbidly obese, or so forth. Anything beyond that is perfectly fine for me. What's a twink? You can look that up there. What do I think of the chokehold? I think everyone's jumping to conclusions, but just because someone gets choked out and there's thing doesn't mean that you should go out and hit a cop with a cinder block or anything. I think people are acting nuts over the particular situation there, and they're rushing to judgment. But one thing I will tell you is this here. Let me get a puff of this. Here's the thing. After it happened, the police came up on the train, they interviewed everyone, and then they let them go. That means that the people that were actually on the train backed him up there, in other words. Because otherwise, if the people on the train didn't back him up, he would have been in handcuffs. That's why he was let go. Because the cops interviewed everybody on the train, and based upon interviewing everyone, determined that it was a self-defense and let him go, Beyond that, there's still going to be more investigations, but, I would seriously doubt he gets convicted because they're going to re-interview all the other people that's on the train. It's just a political stunt. I've dated all races. The last person I was actually dating was Asian, actually. Yeah, the last guy I was dating was Asian. Actually, Chinese, in fact. And when I say Chinese, that means he was actually from China. He would be on his phone and stuff there, and you would see all the Chinese stuff on there. So, yeah. But that's been a while ago here. I've not, ever since then, I've not had a boyfriend. But that was my last boyfriend I had. He was Asian. But he decided to move to, he was still working on his engineering degree. So I think he's somewhat in Massachusetts or so. I always heard people say that eating healthy is expensive, but yeah, eating healthy isn't expensive at all. It's best just to buy it in bulk and you'll be fine. A local Subway charges around $12 for a sandwich. Yeah, that's too much for a sandwich. You better go to Costco and make your own sandwiches. Does he speak He speaks Chinese and English, you know? No, he definitely wasn't packing any heat. He was like 24. Parents are pretty nice, though. They seem to be alright. Mm. Did he speak Mandarin? No, he didn't speak Mandarin. Just your regular standard Chinese, although his Chinese was kind of weird, actually, the way he spoke it. I think it was sort of like a regional type Chinese that he was speaking. He didn't sound like other Chinese people I've dated or friends with. I've not killed anyone near low. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Yeah, those $5 footlongs are long gone. But think about it for a minute. If you have to understand, it's the same with a 99-cent hamburger at McDonald's. Because McDonald's has to make a profit, you have to wonder what's actually going into it. Most of it has a lot of the soy fillers and stuff and textured textured meat, which is actually just vegetables, actually. So it's not even real meat. I've dated older men before and younger. Oldest person I dated was like 60. What kind of engineering degree? Robotic engineering. Yeah, he spoke Cantonese, but it was kind of a weird type Cantonese. I think it was some sort of regional one. He didn't speak Mandarin, that's for sure. What was my youngest? I mean, that's gonna really all depend. That's I dated a guy that was 16, but I was 18 at the time, so you know. The biggest age difference was I dated a guy that was I went out with someone that was 20 years old, and
Dollar store.
Vince with a $3 donation. I don't. They still have dollar stores, but actually, even Dollar Tree has gone up in price. I think now they charge $1.50. But again, thanks for the donation there. I dated someone 16. I dated someone 16 when I was 18. Joel, come on, man, really? And I'm not 50. I never dated a guy that was 80. I dated someone that was 60, and I was 35 at the time actually. Dated for about a month or so. No, it's all about personalities, RC. And he was in prime condition too, so way better shape than Richard, that's for sure. I mean, he modeled like years ago there and stuff, so he actually still did modeling for like J. Crew and Brooks Brothers. So I mean, yeah. Was it J. Crew or Brooks? He modeled for Brooks Brothers. Truth one, it's not that important to me as far as to who's packing heat. How can married guys increase their body counts? If you're talking about dating, they shouldn't be at all. You know, if you're married, you need to be with that one person. Wasn't my place, Dusty. It didn't work out like that. I don't intend to move to Massachusetts there, so it's like Curtis Blow says, these are the breaks. Do you think Jason Blaha trolls have some sort of disorder or on the borderline? Well, yeah, it's the same as Vegan Gaines' friends there. They have to be borderline crazy as well. So, like minds group together usually. Oh, you're good, quick bump. Well, you should never chase body counts or anything like that. They're low. It's a waste of time, you know? If you find one person and it's the absolute right person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, then just go with that one person there, you know? I am not running for president. Too based, I wouldn't win anyway. Yep. Chase goals, not holes. That's right. You have to understand one thing. Here's my whole thing. If you're a big sex fiend, then get a sex toy, you know? You know, because like I said, the sexual desire will only last until you bust, in other words. Yeah, I've hooked up with plenty of married guys and didn't know that they were married. I mean, that's just going to be a given. But what can you do? Why only one? If you're looking for love and you find the one person, then why go? It's like that old saying, why go out for ground beef when you got a nice delicious juicy T-bone steak at home, you know? Cuban said on a recent debate he would be open to debating on homosexuality. He says it's a choice. It's not a choice there. That would be like him choosing to be straight. Does he choose to be straight? You know, the question makes no sense whatsoever. you have to think about this as well. If it was an actual choice, truth one, why would I choose to endure names like being called the bundle of sticks or something like that? Why would I choose to endure the abuse of others or something like that? You know, that doesn't make any bit of sense. I mean, but I'm wondering if Cuban chose to be straight or not. You know, is the BBC? It's true for me. I can't speak for others. You know, I've dated black guys that had little bitty Oscar Mayer weenies there. So you have to understand my stating when I say, "Oh, folks, don't forget to twist and not dab." You have to understand that whenever I say slave genes, what I mean by that there is that you have to remember the reason why most black Americans look much bigger than most Africans is because you have to understand that slave owners treated black people like livestock there. They would put the best people together in order to be bred, in other words, you know. We were like the cows and the pigs and stuff like that, to where they only bred the best stock out there, you know. So that's where the whole BBC and the strength and the extra muscle comes from, you know. And you have to understand with at least 300, 250 years, many generations of breeding black individuals, you come up with a much stronger black person generation after generation. I mean, we're talking about 20 to 30 different generations to where black black men were bred just like animals here, you know. And what were they bred to be? More stronger and more powerful, so that way they can work the fields for longer and harder. So, essentially put, despite the fact that there has not been any slavery for at least 160 years, I still have the genes of, you know, a slave that was bred over a course of many generations. That's what makes the strength and superiority, you know, and stuff. But don't think of it this way, because with technology that's in place, that's pretty much weeded out for the most part, you know. And after a couple more generations, it will be of nothing there, you know. That doesn't make me superior to anyone else by all means. You have to remember that in this society, that blacks own less than 1% of the country's wealth. So, you know, so we got the big black, we got big ding dongs and stuff like that. But, you know, everybody else has a wealth. So it's a trade off between things, you know. I mean, I would take off a couple of inches in order to have a lot of wealth.
Why do slaves breed more slaves, putting their kids into slavery?
Vince with a $3 donation. Why do slaves breed more slaves, putting their kids into slavery? Well, that's the times back in the 1600s here, you know. I mean, you have to understand that it's still work product there, you know. Farmers always and even in this day and age, farmers still want to breed the best cow possible. It's like thoroughbred horses. You want to breed one thoroughbred horse with another prize horse in order to make a faster horse. It's just the way things are. The slavery that we have today is what we call liberalism, to where people are taught to think like everybody else here, or what's perceived to be what's right and wrong. Eventually, this society will no longer have comedians, will no longer have free thinkers. The world is getting dumber day by day. But again, thanks for the donation. There is still slavery in this country, but it's not a matter of chains, it's a matter of who's reading and who's not reading. And who is getting distracted with things like some dude in a dress drinking a Bud Light or so forth, or transgender person, you know. These are distractions. While people were complaining about someone drinking a Bud Light, we just bailed out First Republic Bank for, again, billions of dollars, you know. We have our priorities wrong. That's what the real slavery is all about. The American society is easily distracted there while the politicians go and take our money, you know. What's the smallest guy I've been with downstairs? I can't remember that, you know. They were just bottoms, you know, so it wasn't that important. Groupthink is the mother of all evils. Yes and no. It's good to have a society that teaches each other. However, in a lot of cases, at least in this society these days, if we don't, in this day and age, if you don't think the way someone else thinks or the way society thinks, they dox you and blacklist you from society, you know. Yep, it's not bigger by the day, it's just dumber by the day. Well, quick pump, Genova's best physique is when he was with Adam Harper, who forced him to train and diet and, pretty much was like a slave owner to him there, whipped it across Jason's back. And yeah, he got into the best shape of his life there. Y'all guys remember his physique when he was with Adam Harper. So, I mean, the Misfits ended themselves there low. Everyone thought that they were the superstar, you know. That's why they have the old saying, united we stand, divided we fall, you know. Why do some guys grow hair on their backs? That's just genetics there, Zach. I grow very little hair. I grow a lot less hair now that once you start competing and you start taking off the hair, if you use, which what I use was Nair eventually inhibits your hair growth to where it grows very little. But that's all based on genetics. Like I said, it's going to be choppy tonight, so just hang loose. Yeah, folks, y'all got to be really careful as far as to, these distractions. The Bud Light thing was just a distraction, and you notice they're still going on about it there. When the only thing, in fact, that Bud Light did, and I'm not saying what they did, I think it was a poor marketing campaign just to go and just hand out beer or so forth. They would have, if they wanted to really promote the transgender culture, they could have given it to a drag queen. I think her name is Happy Daniels or something. That person also serves in the U.S. Navy, actually. I think if they had did the promotion with someone else, transgender-wise, that was serving in the military, for example, as opposed to someone like her, then we wouldn't be talking about this at all, you know. But I think they've learned their lesson that uh, they need to find the right audience there. There's plenty of drag queens that are serving in the military, that are doing great things for the community, and stuff. They could have went with a drag queen that was serving in the military, plain and simple. And that's what they should have done. If they did that, they wouldn't have no problems whatsoever. None. Absolutely no problems. None. If they went with someone like Caitlyn Jenner, no problem at all there. You get my point there, don't you? It isn't the fact that she is transgender. It's the fact as far as the fact that she is a super liberal, you know. And Bud Light is a conservative brand of beer, you know. That's where they effed up there, you know. That's where they effed up. So they've learned a very valuable lesson, you know. Would I ever? I think I'm already dark enough, Quick Pump. There's no need for me to take something like that, you know. I would only take that the only time I would take something like that, Quick Pump, is if you are pale white and you're wanting to compete and you need to have a darker color. At that point in time, that would be something that you would want to take. If I take that stuff, it wouldn't do absolutely anything to me at all. I mean, someone with my skin has a lot of melatonin in it there, you know. I don't need to get any darker if I was still competing. That's going to be someone that's very pale in complexion that's competing there, Quick Pump. That's the only time that would actually be needed. Folks, it's going to cut out a little bit there, you know. I was already seeing the bit rate there, and I'm not sure what's going on. I have only one application opened up. Uh, my other computer shut down, so I'm not sure what's going on, you know. And my bandwidth is still at 60, so I'm not sure why it's all choppy. It's kind of weird. I don't think it's a matter of that there, Quick Pump. You have to remember that if you're going to use something like that, you want to have a specific use and you have to be in a position where you're going to need it there, you know. If a white person already has a dark complexion, someone that's Italian or have a little bit of Greek in them, they're not going to need that neither, you know, because their skin is going to have the capability of getting dark enough to possibly compete. I would only use that product for competition purposes here. Beyond that, if you want to get dark, just get into a tanning bed, you know. You'll be all right, you know. That's just my opinion on it there. It's one of those products to where it's really for a specific person there, a type of person. With a not just a specific type of person, someone with a specific goal as well. See if my phone is charged up. Lenny shouldn't be using that stuff there. He's out in the sun a bunch. I don't think it's a good idea for him to use something like that. Not sure how true this statement is, but I've heard that people say that white people want to get darker, so they tan in dark people. People used to tan for the purposes of protecting themselves from the sun. That's how it really all started. Plus having a darker color. You see, back in the 19th and 20th century, they used to encourage people to be out in the sun. In fact, in the old Soviet Union, they used to have these special ultraviolet lights that they would put babies under in order for them to get used to the sun. But it's healthy to be out in the sun because there's a lot of vitamins in the sun there and a lot of health benefits of being in the sun. So it's not a matter of being darker per se. It's a matter of getting more sun. It's not healthy to stay indoors. It's important that you get a sufficient amount of sun because your body is charged on the sun. You need the sun, in other words. What happened? I'm not sure what you're referring to, Zach. Do you think I'll ever compete again? Well, never say never. I mean, right now I'm losing a lot of weight because I'm on the testosterone and I'm putting on a lot of muscle there. So, if I was going to make a decision, I'm going to still need a number of months of doing tests in order to see where I'm at totally. How much sun a day for darker folks should I recommend? Just a few hours a day. Nothing. You don't need that much. Maybe like an hour or two. You don't really need to lie out in the sun or anything. I mean, it could be just as simple as a walk in the park. I've not checked my weight there, but it's probably balanced. Like I said, I'm putting on more muscle, so I'm actually weighing more. But then on the other hand, I'm losing fat. So it's kind of a balancing act there. I'm not keeping up with weight. I'm using the mirror in order to gauge my physique per se. And I am much leaner now than I was before. And that's all that matters. You don't even whenever you're competing, you don't worry about how many pounds you weigh. You only really worry about pounds as far as to the last couple of days to see what class you're going to be in. What you want to look at is you want to use the mirror to gauge your physique. In other words, don't worry about what your weight scale looks like. And the safety fat on me is disappearing. So I can say one thing is for sure, I'm moving in the right direction, and that's all that's really important. By the way, folks, I'm on the shots now. Yeah, but I'm still losing weight there. That's just going to be a given, and if I'm going to compete again, I'm going to lose a lot of weight. So, I've built more muscle up there and stuff, but yeah, ultimately, if I start competing again, I'll definitely be a lot lighter. That is optimum, but unless I'm on some really heavy steroids or so forth, which is not going to happen, I'm going to keep with my general dose there. Uh, I'm just going to lose weight there, ultimately. Because while I put on some more muscle, I'm going to lose a lot more fat there, which is what I've been doing. Do you think there are times in life where you learn so much in a matter of weeks and then there's months and years? Yeah, you feel like that sometimes there. That's only natural. That's just only natural to think of that, you know. And sometimes it's even vice versa. But those are the shakes in life there. That's just your general outlook there. Just try to learn something every day, regardless as to how little it is. What are my thoughts on fat women? I don't really have any thoughts on them, other because I don't date women or anything anymore. But as far as fat women are concerned, it depends on whether they're morbidly obese or if you're consider a fat woman someone that's slightly overweight. So that's too broad of a question there, you know. I could say one thing: skinny women sell Porsches, and fat women sell station wagons. If that makes any sense. 300 milligrams a week. That's what I'm taking more testosterone. Like I said, I got the shots now, so 300 milligrams. Is Vegan Gains gay for pay or bisexual? Uh, he's not doing well. Sticking a dildo up your butt would be considered gay for pay. Like I said, I don't keep track of his OnlyFans channel. Bisexual wise, the jury is out. You know, you really have to ask him on that. One thing is for sure, it's just he's not straight. That's for sure. Well, it's a lot more convenient there, Robert. I still have some Jello lying around there. Like this bottle, for example, this one's empty, so no more of this. Do I prefer to hang around white women, Latina women, black women, or Asian women? I don't have any preference there. I can tell you one thing: most of my friends I hang around right now are white, you know, but that's just a given there. Part of the reason being is because most of my other friends are back home there, you know, and stuff. And a lot of these people I've known for many years. So, but that's just a simple technicality, you know. Uh, that's what I hang out at a general time there. But you know, I hang out with my friends, and when I go back to Asheville, I hang out with my brothers and sisters, you know. So this depends on where I'm at. But as far as who I've hung around with, I really can't answer that. You know, that's too broad. I'm not going to take any DHT drugs there, Robert. I don't think that's necessary. I think the testosterone is going to be just fine. Blaha may be on to something as far as gay for pay. You have to remember to compete in the IFBB, it requires a ton of money. So a lot of bodybuilders will resort to that in order to fulfill their dreams. What's up, Danny? You getting in here pretty late, but good thing we still got 30 minutes left. Yeah, I debated vegan gains or you can pretty much say vegan gains, Dr. AV, and ask yourself. We'll do a review. I'm doing a review video on that tomorrow there, Robert. So, I think he did, based upon where the location of the tattoos are, Robert, I think he did that to cover up some stretch marks. But if you want my honest opinion, I think it looks kind of stupid. Yeah, it still didn't do them any good there. I mean, at the end of the day, they were covering up jumping Dr. Greger, and ironically, they jumped me. So it makes no difference. Don't forget, I'm a power top. So, I mean, three bottoms versus one top, they're still not going to win, you know. They were trying to get one more person up there, you know, and make it four. But again, I'm a power top, you know. I got no problem switching out the dingling, you know. I'm not going to stack any of my tests quick pump. I got enough tests going on there. There's no need for me to use any more. If anything, I'll probably use growth hormone, but other than that, that's about it. And I'll use that very little because I don't want my belly to pop up. It was for gyno scar surgery. That's what I figured based upon the positions of his tattoos here. Well, Danny, I think he got that because he is a snake bastard, so. Well, Richard is right. He's not black, he's mixed, you know. Of course, if he gets pulled over by the cops here in America, he's going to definitely be black. Yeah, Big Trips, I said ride the storm there, man. Ride the storm. Mm. No, I tell you guys, every live stream there, that I don't have cable or fiber. That's also the reason why I don't do too many reaction videos live. He just got two snakes there, quick pump. Like I said, I really have no clue as far as to. He could have got much better tattoos, or he could have done something else here. US robotics modem. If I had that, I wouldn't be running no stream at all there. Believe me. But it is getting kind of annoying there. But what can I do, folks? You know, seriously. Not really much. I didn't have these problems when I had OBS Studio, but Streamlabs uses a lot of resources. I mean, no, we ain't gonna release any attack there, you know. Another month or two, I should have my 5G router in, so hopefully that'll make the streams better. Like I said, very expensive equipment, or by some luck, I may even get cable internet, and then all these problems would go to an end. I certainly hope that's the case. Hey Zach, no need to report about the stream there. Like I said, it's gonna cut in and out there, so just hang tight there. Big Trips French is in the race there. Nope, no DSL. Verizon home internet. I'm having a gin and tonic, coffee, and I had a Alec Brady cigar. Hmm. Didn't have a big cigar tonight because I'm going to finish up, and then I'm going to want to watch some of that Coronation. I think it's going to be very interesting. They said it starts at 5 a.m. But I think the biggest part will be the last hour when everything is done. I think the coverage starts at 5 a.m. All right, folks, we got 25 minutes left, so get your questions in. If you want to make a donation, go ahead and pop that in. Maybe that'll help out with the internet too, you know. Yes, I'm gonna watch Backlash. I will be watching that. I will be watching Backlash. That's the game plan. I mean, Puerto Rico's part of the United States here, you know. It's important that a company like the WWE goes everywhere in order to, you know, do shows here, you know, build up the consumer base. Yes, Trips, WWE Backlash, but I don't think it's for at least another week or two. When is Backlash? Oh, Backlash is tomorrow, actually. I'm thinking of I'm thinking of something else. SummerSlam. Mm. Puerto Rico is still a good territory. The only problem is that they pay taxes and they don't get nothing back from this country, you know? It's kind of weird. If Puerto Rico got their value of their taxes, then it would be a much better country. Yeah, I grew up a little bit watching Bruiser Brody, but I was like 7 or 8 or so forth. So I was pretty young when I watched him. I didn't see much of him because he died in the 80s here. Trips, I'm kind of bored of Richard. Like I said, I didn't have any videos planned about him. He actually came in my stream and challenged me to a silly debate. Robert, if I try to reboot there, this stream will not come back up there, you know. No, I didn't watch B Was Afraid. What is that anyway? I've never even heard of that. Oh, that's a film. Like I said, I don't want to pay for any streaming or anything. I'm not really going to any movies. I would actually have to go to Anderson to watch that. I'm not driving all the way out to Anderson. Harley Race is right there. Yeah, Bruiser Brody was a pretty wild person there, so his ending happened pretty much the way it happened because those people down there don't play. Guy that killed him actually was found innocent there, so. Well, Trips, you got to go where the money is, sir. So, you know, Goldberg is a businessman at the end of the day. And don't forget he was in WCW, so it's not like he's not been anywhere else before. But seriously, what is Goldberg really going to do in AEW there? He's gonna be like Brock Lesnar. He's gonna make a couple of appearances and that's it. Although honestly, I'm seeing more of Brock there, Lesnar lately. They haven't made. They the only time they wrestle is during a pay per view, and that's it. They ain't got to travel around with everyone. I'm not spoken with Joshua Jones in a long time there. Very long time. So I would say I'm not really in contact with them. Hmm. I'm wondering what is up with these frames here lately. That's been happening for the past month or so. I may need to get some sort of VPN or some stuff. Well, I said a long time ago there. I consider a week a long time ago. So I'm not sure what he's doing. I haven't seen him. I have him subscribed. I've subscribed to his channel, but I've not really seen anything major on it there. I don't watch too many shorts here, so let's take a look and see what he's been doing lately. But it's been many moons. I'm actually subscribed to like 142 different people. Hard to keep up with everybody. Yeah, he does have a lot of shorts. But yeah, he's not filmed anything in 9 days, which is, well, I consider that a very long time. Well, you won't be seeing Shane anywhere anytime soon. He'll be out for at least a year. He shouldn't have been in there to begin with. He's too old to be doing anything at this point. Very soon, Quick Pump. I'm developing the videos. The financial channel is going to be a little bit, it's going to work a little bit different there. A whole lot different, Quick Pump. It's not going to be the same as this channel to where I'm continuously putting out videos there. There's going to be a lot of AI content. What is BKFC? Is that like soccer or something? Oh, bare knuckle fighting. Yeah, I've seen some of those matches. Uh, I think it's about as dangerous. I think it's pretty dangerous here. Just about as dangerous as a slapping. You know, there's a reason why we don't bare knuckle. We haven't had bare knuckle fighting in over 100 years. A lot of people are gonna have a CTE after doing things like that. What kind of supplements I take? I take DHEA, a multivitamin, fish oil caps, cranberry tablet, and I take glucosamine. But those are my supplements. Well, he is white and he's also black, so he's being true. All right, folks, we got 15 minutes left. Get your questions in or so forth. Yeah, Josh has been filming a lot of shorts here. Shorts are pretty good, but they don't show up on my. They're not going to show up on anything there as far as it's concerned. It goes into a rotation. Robert, I don't think that they've ever had a falling out per se. But you have to remember, even a father and son are going to have disagreements at some point in time. Haven't you ever had a disagreement with your father? I mean, everybody has. Well, Trips, he's just following the. He has the same genes as my brother. I mean, so he's going to find his hair falling out to where he's going to be bald like me pretty soon. And then we're going to have some good mints here. Either that or if he tries to hold on to his hair, he's going to look like George Jefferson. Well, we're moving on up to the sky. And I know some people on this channel are getting high. Oh, on up. Have I ever met a super attractive woman, but she smelled really bad? Yes, I've met them before. But you have to question the reason. That person worked at Taco Bell with me. So, I mean, you can't help but to smell bad, you know. Now, if someone has poor hygiene, you know, then, ugh, you know. But again, I think everyone's met someone like that there, Zach. Have I ever visited a glory hole? I've been to porn shops that had glory holes, but I've never used one, any of those glory holes, you know. If you stick your thing into it, you never know who's going to be sucking on it. Either that or someone can have a knife and just hack it off or so. Bryce Young, I'm not sure how well he's going to do with the Panthers here. We'll just have to actually see, Danny. I don't have any. I mean, he's an unsigned draft pick there, per se. So I don't have any comments. It's gonna really depend on how well he does in training camp. But like I said, you can get drafted and you can get picked and everything like that. But even with those picks there, Danny, not everyone's going to play. Some of them are going to get released and end up at other teams. I'll go ahead and do it right now while the stream is running good. So Paul. There you go. He may be good. There's a big difference between playing college football and then playing in the NFL. So it's gonna really depend. One thing I don't like is that he doesn't weigh that much. He's pretty skinny. So he's gonna need to put on a little bit more muscle. He needs to be at least 220 pounds. You know, he needs to put on some more weight. I don't know who's gonna win the Stanley Cup because I don't watch hockey. I hate hockey. Hello, Samson. Welcome to the show there. Glad you're able to join us here. NBA Finals. Right now, I don't know. I don't really have a dog in the fight there. So, It's one thing I won't really know until it gets down to the nitty gritty to where I can give you that type of answer. That's the way it works sometimes. Like I said, for the Golden Knights here, yeah, like I said, I don't watch hockey, so I can't really identify. I don't even know whether that's a Canadian team or an American team there, Robert. But yeah, the NBA finals are a long way. I think they're right now in the semi, so there's still a lot of teams that are still vying for it. So it's got to get down to the nitty gritty. Once it gets down to the final two, at that point in time, I can tell you who's. I can probably take a good guess as far as to who would win. But at the semifinal state, there, I mean, it's going to be out there. It really is. Do I think canaries, aka Tweety, are they beautiful birds? I had a friend that owns one of those birds here. They can be quite difficult to take care of and clean out their cages. But I mean, people do buy birds here just for the beauty of them. But I think those canary type birds here, I think from what my friend says, they're kind of troublesome to take care of. Steph Curry is definitely not overrated there. I mean, he's always had sound playing there. I mean, he's going to be in the NBA Hall of Fame there, no doubt about it. But he's definitely not overrated. Pelicans are weird animals. I mean, they'll eat whole birds and stuff there. It's weird watching them eat one there, and then the bird is just flapping around. And you see their jaws popping in and out and stuff. I don't own any animals at this point in time. Whenever I was married, I had a pug actually. You have to take extra special care with pugs there because pugs have severe breathing issues, so you have to make sure that there's no obstructions in their noses. You got to keep them clean and stuff there. But pugs are very adorable animals. I like them. They're very loving animals too. I'm not married to pug man there. Come on, Greg. I said me and my ex had a pug there. He has another pug now there. So I mean, if I was gonna own another dog, it would be a pug. So because I already know how to take care of one. So the only thing I don't like is pugs for the most part there they have a pretty short lifespan there, unfortunately. But that's the way some animals are. They. I've heard the band The Cure before. I have to disagree with you on that, Robert. I don't believe in cursed players here. It's just that some players have a good day and then some of them have an off day. Greg, Pugman's here. He's hanging out. He may have already left for the but he's here. But yeah, I mean, at this point in time, anyone can get into the finals here. I mean, there's once the finals hit, I can probably gauge as far as to who wins. And this is just simply by the series itself, as far as to how many wins they had as opposed to the others. Now, I have been wrong before. I thought the Eagles was going to win the Super Bowl, and they didn't win. But again, they could have won because the score was trading back and forth, so it was a pretty close game. It's just a matter of it was sort of like a game of hot potato, you know. Hey, Pug, how you doing there? Yeah, I knew you were around there, but thanks again for the donation. Hope you've been well. And hopefully my router comes in so we can do a lot more things here. So, folks, we got 4 minutes left, so let's get the music started. But yeah, usually whenever they're out of the playoffs and it's happened so many times, yeah, they're gonna fire the coach because that's what's expected. Who is my way too early prediction to win the Super Bowl? I think the Buffalo Bills will win next year. They're compiling a pretty good team there. Jets are not going to win the Super Bowl. With Aaron Rodgers, even though he's won the Super Bowl, I think he's past his prime now. It's time for him to retire. But the Jets are definitely not going to win the Super Bowl. I think Buffalo Bills are going to win. I mean, they were playing really good last year. They just came up short. I think the biggest thing is that guy getting hurt there and almost dying on the field. I think that really shook him up there. Well, Danny, again, they had that player that almost died. So when you have something like that, it's going to definitely throw off your game. Oh, shut up, Greg. Like I said, I do this show for the people and not for the donations here. But if anyone's worried as far as donations are concerned, I would I would just recommend you put some money in yourselves there. Just saying. But again, folks, I do this show for you guys here as well, and everything. There's been plenty of times where I've done my live stream and I've not gotten any donations. That's perfectly fine for me there. And any of my videos don't get absolutely no YouTube revenue because they're limited all the time. So it's what it is. I'm going to be hanging out, drinking, and smoking anyway and relaxing. So why not hang out with you guys and chit chat, you know? Oh no, we're not going to do any dancing. Patman, no, not everyone can be a correction officer. You have to have a level of temperance. You have to have a level of physical prowess too. And then the thing about it is that you have to be willing to kill someone in order to protect your fellow officers. If you don't have that willingness to actually go and kill someone, then you should not sign up to be a corrections officer. You'll hesitate at the moment there, and that inmate will end up killing you. They play a lot of Sinatra at the Swordfish. So, yes, they play music similar to this. No, I don't listen to Bouncing Souls here. No, I don't think Dale would have the temperance for that. But folks, it is midnight. And it is the end of the midnight run. I want to thank everyone that's joined me for the show. I want to thank Pugman for donating. I want to thank everyone for joining me for this show again. This is the great one. I'm signing off. Don't forget, 10 a.m. on Sunday, I will be debating Ella or Vegan Gays. So be sure to watch out for that. So again, it's the great one signing off. And as always,